Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. This is the 1986 Washington quarter from the United States of America, and you see we have two old, used, beat up ones here. We have some really shiny ones in the background, and we're going to show you some pictures of some error coins. Some coins that are worth more because there's something wrong with them. This is what you're going to find in your change. A coin that's over 40 years old that has scratches and dings and dents, all kinds of stuff on there that sometimes people think might make it worth more money. We see the P there is not a very clear P. It looks like it's been filled a little bit and chipped. And we see chips all around the outside. In fact, we turn it up on the edge and we see that you can see the copper through this really well. So what's the value of this coin? It's worth 25 cents. It'll always be worth 25 cents. It'll never be more than that. Anything that happens to chip or bang or change it after it comes out of the mint does not add to the value of the coin. They made $551 million to Philadelphia Mint. Of those coins, there is one coin that's a Mint State 67 plus that's worth $3,000. But if you get down to a Mint State 65, it goes all the way down to $20. What does a good-looking one look like? Well, how about this one? And look at that P down there. See, that P dented the coin. So this is how it came out of the mint. The dent doesn't add any value to it. The coloring adds a little bit of value to it. And we get onto the back, and this is where we'll look for the quality of the coin a lot of times. We'll look and see whether that eagle has a little cowlick coming off the back, whether you can see a beak line, and how good the eye socket is. On this one, not great. We look down here and we look for feathers along the body. Again, not really that great. This is a Mint State coin of some level, maybe a Mint State 63, but even that only makes it worth about $10 or $12. It's not a very valuable coin. What about the Denver Mint coin? Well, we looked at the old Denver, and this is, you see that D is kind of, we call it a filled D sometimes, real beat up over here. Again, all of this happened after it left the mint. Again, worth a quarter. But we do have a Denver Mint quarter that's probably worth more than that. The Denver Mint, they also made $500 million. There is a Mint State 67 plus from the Denver Mint that's worth $3,750. This one right here is probably a Mint State 65 or so. And if we look on the back, we can see a little bit more detail on the back. More feathers through here, through the shoulders. You can see kind of the feather line down on the legs. You can see some really good detail in the bow here and the tail, and you can see a little bit of the beak line. If this is a Mint State 65 though, it's still only worth about $10. So not a huge value to this unless you get that Mint State 67 plus that's worth $3,700. Again, we tipped this one up, and this is just beautiful. Look how shiny that is. So nice coin, incredibly nicely toned. We might be able to get $10 or $15 for it, but that's pretty much as far as it's going to go. And then when you look at this D, this is actually a great D, maybe one of the best ones I've ever seen from 1986. Look at that D versus that D. Some of this happened at the mint when it got banged. Some of it just happened as it got worn out over time. So this D here is as clear a D as you're going to see. They also made these at the San Francisco Mint. In the San Francisco Mint, they made these as proof coins. And you can see this one. If we change the light on this at all, you can see that this is a deep cameo proof. So right now, it's about as shiny as it can get. And then if we turn the light a little bit to the side, you see the background becomes a little bit darker. And that's how you get your deep cameo look to it. Just a huge, beautiful background. You can see the pen in it as you hold the pen up. Over here is where you can tell it's from the San Francisco Mint if you didn't see it as shiny as this, because it has an S on here. We tip it up on its side and we see that incredibly shiny front. And then on the back we see this is a proof coin. We can see feathers all down the legs. We can see a great cowlick there, a great beak coming down. Not a great beak line, but that's the 1986. It's about as good a beak line as you're going to see coming through there. A great eye socket. So this coin here, probably a proof 69 or 70. But unfortunately for collectors, they had so many good proof coins from 1986 that the best proof coin available, a proof 70, is worth $34, and that's graded. So you're not going to get much money from Proofcoin. But there are some coins that are very interesting from 1986 that we should take a look at. The first of our specialty coins is this one here from the Heritage Auctions website. And look at this. It's a quarter struck on a 5-cent planchet. So let's take a look at the back of it. We'll see that it's way off the edge of the coin. So a quarter on a 5-cent planchet, a P quarter, you can tell because you can see the mint mark there. This is worth about $200. The next of our coins is again from the Heritage Auctions website, and it is a 1986 P Washington quarter with the clad layer missing. So it only has the copper center to the quarter. It does not have the copper nickel front on it that makes it shiny and silver. And so the back of it has the cladding. The front of it doesn't have the cladding. It's a really cool coin. Only went for about $62. So that's kind of a fun one. If you ever wanted to get a fun coin like this, you might be able to get one for 50 or 60 bucks. Our next coin is one that's off center. And there's different degrees of off center we'll show you. This one is way off the coin. You can see the 1986 there. You can see that it's a Denver Mint coin with the D right there. And then you can see the back of it, of course, is going to be off center too. It just kind of peeks up a little bit towards the top of the coin. And all the rest of that is just the metal, the excess metal. So it missed the coin and it still got produced 60% off. So what they do is they figure out how much off the center of the coin it is, and then they give you the number. All right, the next one is one called the Broadstruck. And I first saw this on Couch Collectibles did a video on the 1986, and this is just a beauty. So if you have a chance, always look at Couch Collectibles if you're looking through coins, because he does some incredible work. Now this one's called the Broadstruck, and you'll see that it just kind of got really messy as it hit the coin, and it almost looks like it says LIBLRTY. You can't even see all of the E on there. And then if we go to the back of this coin, you'll see that it got just punched so hard that it actually almost got punched. The front almost got punched right through the coin, and you can kind of see this odd doubling down here, everything doubling, and up here, this kind of missing up here. Okay, so we're back to our coins. Not great values from 1986. If you get a 1986 quarter, save one of each mint, I guess. They're always going to be worth a quarter. All right, so we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.